A warm welcome to each and everyone. So my name is Phil, and I will be hosting this Let Us Talk It Zipinar today. So thank you so much for looking forward for joining us today, and we are live on YouTube, on Facebook as well, and we have posted the links on LinkedIn. So feel free to join us today for we have two new guest speakers, and we have two new topics to discuss and share value with. So this initiative, a free knowledge sharing platform, is made possible by Cogent Integrated Business Solutions. So they are based in Detroit, Michigan, an IT company and a staffing company as well. And for anything IT needs that you have, please visit their website, www.cogentibs.com. And I'm very thankful for our guest speakers today, as they are willing to share their knowledge, their experience, and their time into this webinar today. And don't worry, in case you missed this live webinar, you can definitely watch the recorded session afterwards in our YouTube page, which is Let Us Talk It. All right. So again, we would like to send our thanks to our guest speakers. And for the first topic that we are to discuss today, we have about youth mental health, because we are looking after the next generation definitely, and we wanted to make sure that they are doing just fine, because most of the time we hear complaints on social media that they do not get enough attention, and we want to see the reason and the solutions about that. So understanding mindset of today's youth and guiding them is what the topic is about today. And our guest who will be talking about this topic is the founder of Ultra Women Entrepreneurs, which has a community of like 1 lakh of women, yeah, since 2015, and also a life coach, a mindfulness coach, and a neuro linguistic programming practitioner, and very passionate about to helping women around the globe to create the growth and oriented and a balanced mindset that support individuals who achieve their personal goals using NLP techniques. And here to talk about first topic, we have Vidula Kamat. Hi, Vidula. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you, Phil, for inviting me.
Yeah.
And I think today's topic, which has been chosen, is one of the best one and need to be addressed since, the youth right now needs this kind of guidance. And you will see numerous videos and numerous other, speakers who are talking on YouTube and other social media channels. But then uh, there's a chaos of information, and I think that it needs to be more streamlined, and it all depends on case to case what the person is going through. So, to start with, I would like to say that when we talk about youth mental health, it goes back to the childhood. When we talk about childhood traumas, uh, you must have seen and heard that how it affects our lives at the extent which can make a person go into depression, anxiety, the stage fear. Everything is linked to our childhood traumas. So what kind of environment has been created for the child when they are into the nurturing phase is very important. uh, what circumstances the child has gone through, and what kind of information that child has taken into and absorbed in that childhood is does also matter. So there are several different dimensions to it which needs to be looked into. And it's not that, if you have a smart child and if he's scoring good in schools, that's not enough. So there are other sides like the emotional side, the spiritual side, which needs to be addressed equally. So that's why I always go back to the childhood when it comes to what kind of character that you have built today. So it's like, when you're when you're building a block, when you're playing a block, you always make the foundation firm. So that's why this is very important. And I think nowadays everyone has become more aware, and they have started reaching out to more therapists and life coaches, because the awareness is much better than it used to be earlier. So that's a good news. So, where does it begin? I mean, why is the youth right now we see going more towards the therapy sessions, and why is the need so prevalent right now? So, this is mainly because we all know we are surrounded by different gadgets all the time. The social media, there are a lot of distractions, and these distractions are so unavoidable at the moment, because the world is moving ahead with the gadgets. If we are not using it, then I think we'll be considered very backward. So it is very important for the youth right now to be more into the gadgets, with learning AIs and different computer systems and programmings. So it's unavoidable, basically. So what does these gadgets actually do? Uh, they remove the entire focus thing from your life. Of course, if you're working, then you're focused on your work-based, use of computer or mobile. But then when you are not, I mean, when it comes to your personal life, these distractions kind of has become so habitual and so inculcated in your lives that you can't get off your phone. And it's constantly, there's a ping, there's an alarm, there's an alert, which we think that if we kind of don't notice it, then there can be an issue, or we can miss out on something. So that's one thing. Then we don't get the stability that we need right now, because even if we in this era, if we have friends coming along, or we have families coming along at our place, we are still hooked to the gadget. We are still consistently checking, what's going on in the social media world. So our minds are not stable. We are constantly looking for something which we don't even know what we are looking for. So there's a big confusion in this, age right now. We can't even master any skills, because mastering a skill needs a lot of focus. And I'm not talking about the computer mastery, or any programming mastery, or any software or anything related to computer. But then the real life mastery, if you want to do something like, say, swimming, or archery, or anything which involves outdoor activity, it becomes very difficult, because you're still subconsciously you're hooked to your mobile, and you're waiting for something which is unknown. You don't even know what is about to come, but you're just waiting for it. So this is a huge distraction, what has actually made this generation so confused and so distracted, that nothing is aligned in their minds. So it's all haywire. It's all over the place. Your thoughts are not aligned. You don't know where you're going. So this can only be done if the person decides consciously to give a specific time to these gadgets, and get more involved into outdoor activities, or socialize more with family and friends, which is most important when especially you age. Those are the times when you think that you need real time connections, which are no more there, because you have spent so much time on the social media, or the gadgets, that you kind of have lost the connection with the real time world. So the best part is there is a solution. There is a step-by-step process which a person can go through and resolve these traumas and resolve these distractions and keep your mind alert and sorted. So how can that be done? So the very first thing is to uh, be aware of what is happening in their lives, to address the issues and accept it. Only after acceptance you can move forward and you can find a solution for it. Um, so with awareness comes responsibility. You have to take responsibility of uh, whatever is needed to build your life, to make it more active, uh, and kind of cover all these aspects of being emotionally available, spiritually available, mentally present. Right now, we have seen that this generation is not really mentally present as we used to be in our childhood, because we didn't have those distractions. We did have a television set, but then it was very limited. And rest of the time, we knew that we can do some craft activity or drawing activity or anything like that. But we used to find the other ways to kind of get involved into, rather than looking for something which has no meaning at all. So uh, this is one thing, and I think most importantly, adapting to a new pattern, it takes a lot of effort. And once you are aware of it, you can journaling is a very effective way of so kind of getting your life aligned and knowing more about yourself and doing more shadow work and the inner work, what we call. So once you start addressing, you will, and you can prepare your own goals, that where exactly you want to be, and find your purpose and passion and stick to it, and make a plan. So once you have the purpose in your mind, it becomes very easy to discard all the other distractions. So the mind aligns towards the purpose, and it starts developing habits which are more beneficial or more progressive towards your purpose. So that's one thing. And I think the transition, it takes place, and it should be taken into consideration that this is not a easy process if you really want to get your mental health in line. But then you have to accept it. It's a slow process, and gradually you will be there. But it's just that you have to address it on a timely basis. So enjoying every moment. Again, when I talk about it, I stress more on it because most of the time we are living in a delusional world where we are constantly thinking about what happened in the past, or what's happening in the future. But what we are doing is we are not focusing on the present, and how beautiful it is, how the environment around is, how people around are. And most of the times we don't even know the behavior of people around us, because we are not even interacting as much as it is needed. So being in the present will also give you a peace of mind, because when you're only focusing on the say nature, for instance, you're just looking at a tree, and you're just thinking how green the leaves are and how peaceful the tree is, or how the wind is giving a drift to the tree. So these are the things. It keeps you away from the chaos, and it brings you back to the present moment. So it's a vast topic. I mean, if I go on and on, there are techniques that you can use to get in the present moment. There is meditation, There are different, healing therapies. There are vibration therapies. But in short, yes, you have to practice whatever suits you well. But this needs to be done, and I think uh, uh, because of the availability of information, because of the exposure that the youth is getting right now, it has become easier for them to reach out to these things very easily. And I also have a case study to talk about. It's like one of my client, he's like in his 20s, and he came up to me with a gender identity issue. And in 20s, it was very difficult for me to believe. I mean, what is so confusion? What's the confusion about? But then I got to know that, there is a trend where these youths, they are more popular if they are bisexual, or if there is a complication in their relationship. So this was completely new for me, that what's really happening around them. So uh, they only follow these trends when they are foundational. There is a foundational uh, fallacy. There is a foundational defect which is there, which needs to be addressed. If they don't know themselves, if they are not confident about themselves, like, a simple exercise, when they say that you look every morning, you look into the mirror, and you say some positive affirmations to yourself, that you're powerful, and you're confident, you are beautiful the way you are. These are the simple things, but these are the things which actually program your mind on a daily basis. These are the affirmations which are like, the air we breathe. I think this needs to be done on an everyday basis to build your character in such a way that no storm can actually affect you. So there are many such exercises, but in brief, this is what is happening. This is what needs to be addressed. And if, they have any kind of questions regarding the mental health, they can always reach out to me, and they can always come up with a question. I'm always there to help.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. That was really insightful and very timely. And one thing is making some very curious because like youth from like single parents are being affected the most because single parents work most of the time and then they just let their young ones be like guided by someone else, or maybe they just leave gadgets to them for them to work. Yeah. So
Right.
what's your take on that part?
I think that if a parent decides to step out and work, uh, there needs to be a planning in terms of what is my child supposed to do when, in his free time. So most of the times we hand over the gadgets to them because uh, we don't give them a purpose of life. We don't tell them that, that you're supposed to, if you learn this, then you will become this. So once you give them a purpose or develop that kind of interest, that needs to be done a little prior to if you're stepping out. But then what happens is, if the parent also participates with the child, and kind of engage the child into a particular habit or hobby. So when the child gets used to it, it becomes much easier, even if when you're not around. It becomes easier for the child to stick to what, my mom used to do the craft with me when I was I had a time, a lot of time. So the child starts channeling himself to these things instead of going to the gadget. So, but you have to show them that how interesting it is to do other things and develop that kind of interest. But then you have to participate into that in the initial stage, which is very important.
I see. Well, thank you. It's really the involvement, so they have to be involved, even if they have to leave it to a relative for them to work, but they have to be involved still. So to make sure. So yes, thank you so much for that. That's really great. So can you recommend any resources that you know that might be helpful for those who are watching or might be watching? They might benefit from that.
Um, I think NLP is one of the topic which I like the most because I think everyone should know what's neuro linguistic programming. So when we talk about programming, there are terms like anchoring, which it kind of these are the tools which will really help each individual, even the parent and the children, to get themselves sorted and align their life and mindset in such a way that they can use it anytime, and they can counter anxiety, fear, or any kind of mental disease which are very common these days. So NLP, why I recommend is because I have known that it's a very powerful tool, and it's very easy to understand for each one of us, and that can really take you miles, and your life will change for sure.
Thank you. And for starters, how can they like do you have online programs or coachings that's related to this technique that you could
I
yeah promote?
uh, I do have my personal coaching sessions, so in case anyone's interested, they can always reach out to me, and I'm always here.
All right. So yes, definitely. You can for those who are watching, you can search Vidula Kamat on LinkedIn. Send her a connection invite, and so you could get access if anything is provided. Maybe there are free for starters or whatnot. Anything just to jumpstart. All right. So
Hmm.
if you are interested on those techniques and also the coaching, definitely it's a great one. And yes, so I believe that ends your topic. And anything else you'd like to add or maybe promote in the future? Do you have an upcoming webinars or uh, anything?
You can always subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's live with Vidula Kamat Life Coach. So very soon I'll be posting videos which will be very helpful in not just parenting or the youth mental health, but there'll be a lot of topics which will be covered, like relationship, uh, mentoring, and you'll get a lot of resource from it. So stay in touch.
All right, definitely. So yes, yeah. Again, I have to mention. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel of Vidula,
Right.
so you can get access to free life coaching from time to time. And any questions from the attendees? If you have, I've checked YouTube Live, and we don't have any questions yet. So, anything additional inputs or questions, or Abhijit, do you have any questions before we end the first part?
Okay, so I would just like to ask. I mean, see, right now the condition is that we talk a lot about mental health. So, do you think? I mean, just from the perspective of today's context, how important is mental health, especially in the cases of younger students? I mean, younger children actually, because the way they are handled, because the pressure is mounting on them. Okay, so the competition has increased in today's context. So accordingly, so you might have seen the amount of suicide cases increasing day by day. So what's your take on that?
So my very first question to these parents are that why is it important for your kids to be in the competition in the first place? See, basically competitions are created so that you know that where you stand. So it has to be something about yourself and not about others. You know that how much other students are scoring rather than focusing on how much your kid or your child has learned from that particular curriculum. So what is the understanding level of your child, and based on that understanding level or based on that knowledge that your child has gained, or what your child is good into, that needs to be focused more rather than what others are doing. Because everyone is different, everyone has a different caliber, and you never know. I mean, a person can be bad in all subjects but good in arts, and can do much more in arts rather than in other subjects. So why not focus on that instead of focusing on the competition? So I never do that with my children as well. My Both my girls, I always have kept this line open so that they can discover themselves instead of learning others behavior or what others are doing. So that is very important. I think it has taken a lot of time for me to convince this to most of the parents, because uh, competition is the word, and everyone wants their children to stand out in crowd, and they want they don't want their child to feel left out in the crowd. So I think it's a very selfish reason. I'm not trying to generalize this, but there are few parents that they focus mainly on how their child will be treated if their children learn a particular skill. If they're engineer, they'll get more respect in the social circumstances. So I think this is a myth, and that needs to be broken.
Already. Does that answer the question that you have, Abhijit?
Yeah, definitely. That has given a
Or
perspective.
thank you. And there was a chat about a link. What was that? Was it removed? Yeah. Could you share your link, Vidula, on YouTube if you
Sure,
have?
sure.
Yeah.
I'll
And
share it.
then, yeah. All right then. Well, thank you so much for bringing us that timely first topic of discussion. That was really insightful. So we will be moving to the next topic that we have for today. All right. So for the second topic, it is career development and advancement strategies. So this is about the tools and strategies needed to navigate your career path successfully. And to talk about this topic is a freelance adaptability trainer, and he was before an onboarding specialist at ParentPay, and helped schools and parents adopt and use leading online payment services for schools in India. Also hold a BTech in mechanical engineering from the Government College of Engineering Kannur, where he developed strong analytical problem solving and communication skills, and also have experience as an academic mentor at Auto Class, where he guided and motivated students to improve their academic performance and confidence, and completed a business development training program at BYJU's, where he learned valuable lessons in sales marketing and computer relationship management. And to talk about the second topic, we have Abhijit Dasan. How are you?
Well, thank you, Phil. I mean, that was quite a cozy introduction, if I would say, to put into words. So, uh, so today, I mean, if you talk about the context, especially the amount at which the development is happening in every field, if you check, whether it is technology, finance, marketing, business development, whatever you may take, the fields are growing at a vaster speed, or maybe you can take a certain range which is not even describable. For example, if I take a certain case of universe, you can't describe how vast the universe is. That is a certain case with the careers that we are having in today's world. So when we talk about career development and strategies that you need to master, or maybe you need to take your career front up front. So I believe there are some tools and strategies that you can use. I mean, just to navigate your career path successfully. But before that, many people, or maybe many students, or maybe upcoming professionals who are desiring to just give a mark onto a certain path, they have a confusion actually. They have a myth. What actually is career? So I mean, if I talk about, if I was talking about this topic maybe around 20 years before, maybe 15 to 20 years before, I would have generally told that, see, you have three careers: engineering, medicine, law, and stuff like that. But that's not the case today. Career is something where you can build yourself in today's context, if I may want to speak, because there is nothing limited as of today's context. Okay, you might have seen. So if for a small example, let me tell you a very crazy example in India recently. Okay, so if there was a news 2 years before, there was a professional beggar. You might be surprised to hear it. A professional beggar, that was his career. Okay, and he made around $3 to $5 million just by begging. So you can understand. So I'm not just demeaning that you just go into the market to become a professional beggar or something like that. So I'm just telling. I mean, see the way how people have aspired, and they have understood the market. For example, if you see in today's context, especially the evolvement and the things, how especially artificial intelligence, you can see how artificial intelligence is growing, right? So you might see right now we are sitting in for a video conferencing. We are under a certain rules, and we are just understanding how the things are working on. But there is a case maybe in certain 2 or 3 years, you might be seeing some artificial intelligence robots will be sitting in front of instead of Phil. I mean, who will be managing the session and stuff like that. I hope that doesn't happen, Phil. Okay. So see, this is the pace at which the world is growing and the world is evolving. The technology is changing, right? And I have encountered many students, especially parents. They are always confused. So I mean, what is the best for my child? What he or she should pursue in futures, so that at least they have a secured pathway. So I would definitely tell that there isn't nothing called as a secured pathway, or there isn't any set guideline to follow on. Okay, because we have seen many examples. So if I take the case of Elon Musk. Okay, you might knew how was he, and he didn't had any knowledge of physics. Just by learning one or two books on physics, he understood the space mechanism, rocket mechanism, and now you can see how SpaceX is performing. He brought in Tesla. How is it performing? So that is what matters. You can see the things which are going. So if you look into the area where this careers has spread up, you will be amazed. Okay, for your surprising case, let me tell you, there is a career called as professional cuddler. Okay. So if you want cuddling experience, you can hire a professional cuddler for that as well. Or maybe in future, you might see that space tourism, that would be a good career option. Or you might see a pet food taster, or maybe you can see an odor judge who understands what kind of smell you need to add into your food products, or maybe your luxury products, so that it sells into a huge amount. So when you listen to these kind of career options, you understand that there is no limitation. Okay. In today's context, if I would like to say, you yourself can enter the market, and you yourself can begin a new career. You can invent a new career on your own. So there are something. I mean, if I talk about general strategies, so it's like, for example, there is a myth, right? If you are an engineer, you cannot go into other fields, or maybe if you're a doctor, so you cannot be a construction worker, something like that. You can't do smooth career transition, but that is not the case if I talk about today, because that's very much possible, especially when you have the habit of learning. For example, if I take a comparison between humans and animals, right? For example, ants. Ants have the capability to lift 5 times more than their weight. Okay. If I talk about the tiger, it's ferocious. If I talk about elephant, it's vast, it's huge, powerful. Okay. 1 foot of elephant, the amount of pressure it builds on the ground, it's unimaginable. If I talk about cheetah, the fastest animal on the land, right? So every single animal has different capabilities, but we humans are the only ones. We have, I mean, endless capabilities, but the thing is, we haven't yet discovered it. So, I mean, when I talk about these things, I always tell you about a small fact, which is called as a knowledge matrix. So, I mean, you would be surprised to know that this knowledge matrix is applicable to all, but only few have encountered it, or only few have even thought to just uncover it. Actually, what actually is it? So, if I say for things like, just in a common sense, there are things we know that everybody agrees, right? There are things that we know, and there are things we know that we don't know, right? For example, see, if I take, I'm an engineering graduate, so I don't know how to do a medical surgery, right? So I know what all things I don't know, and there are things that you would be surprised that we don't know that we know. Okay, so it's like understanding certain person's capabilities or potential, that he has certain potential which other people may see, but you are not able to see. For example, if I talk about in an example, Phil John. So he has a good capability of active listening, okay, which he doesn't know, but which I can see, which I know. So he doesn't know that what all capabilities or what all strengths he has. And finally, the most important thing, there are things we don't know that we actually don't know. And if I talk about this proportion, the things that we don't know actually, which is not in our reach or which we haven't discovered yet, constitutes 75 to 80 percentage of the human capabilities. And this is not just a random, I mean, technical number which I'm telling. I mean, it just scientifically proven. Many studies have said it. So when you hear about this thing, you just need to ensure one thing. It's called as, you should take every day as a school day. What we do in a school, we always go into an open mind of learning, to grasp things, to grasp knowledge. So that is one thing, that is one, what you say, an open-mindedness that you should have, because there is endless amount of learning possibilities in an entire human life. You can always learn, you can always grow. That is the only thing which I feel, I mean, many aspiring students, or maybe aspiring professionals who want to put a certain foot into their career, who are always looking into certain possibilities. I mean, they always Google, I mean, what career opportunity is best. I mean, which career opportunity pays the best. Everybody has a thing like, okay, this career opportunity gives me a lot of money. It's not the same, right? So that is what happens. So when you go to a restaurant, for example, okay, there are hundreds of dishes. You like all of them, but can you have all of them at once? No, you will only go through the dish which you like, or which is either healthy for you. That's according to your perspective. So I mean, generally people ask me, sir, how to find your passion? So it's not easy to just pick one thing and this is my passion and you will just run behind it to pursue it. That's not gonna happen. You have to try things. You have to test it. Experimentation. Through experimentation, when you experiment around 5 to 8 or maybe 10 to 12 things, then only you will understand what your actual passion is. What is your comfortable zone? which is your comfort thing where you can be the best, right? So when you understand that thing, it can be only discovered through more experimentation. The more you experiment, the more you understand where you are suited for. Okay. It doesn't mean that you are not capable. For example, you will never compare a fish and a monkey. Monkey is known for climbing trees at unimaginable speed and beautiful flexibility. What about fish? The beauty of fish is able to swim in water, even in oceans. Okay, if you compare both, then that's useless. Everybody has their own unique capability. But if you use that capability to an certain level where it is perfectly suited, then only you can bring out the maximum output. That is the thing. I mean, so this is what I believe, especially when you talk about career development. So understand uh, understand the things that you need to experiment no matter what. When you start to experiment, then only you understand what is your career pathway, where you need to follow your zones. And once you do that, I'm definitely sure you will definitely fail 5 to 6 times, because failure happens. It's not possible that you can't fail. There is a saying that goes, if you haven't failed once, that means you haven't tried anything new. Even Thomas Alva Edison, okay, the great man, discovered 10,000 ways that is not right. That was the attitude of that great man. Simply, you have to follow the same thing. You have to just ensure that your attitude and mindset is same, and just enter into the field. Then you will understand what actually the thing is and what actually it isn't.
Thank you. That was really on point, Abhijit. Also, this would help a lot of like teenagers right now who are just grasping on their ideas, because some may complain that part of the population do not have the luxury to test the waters, like to try everything. Like they're just locked into one thing that they keep on doing that, and they get stressed because they do not like, but they have no choice. Do you have any suggestions, or yeah, anything you have in mind with those happenings?
So, I mean, if I talk about those changes, you might have seen this change we have observed suddenly when the COVID-19 hit us, right? So when COVID-19 hit us, we struck to ground reality that we never had imagined that we would be in a situation where would be completely stuck in our home doing nothing, okay, just struggling to pass our time and something like that. So, I mean, adversities are the situations which make you think. I mean, it's like adversity is the mother of invention, we always say. That's the case it goes. For example, for all aspiring teenagers, I would always recommend one thing. Today, especially if I talk about today's context, today you have a very beautiful platform to engage, to learn, to experiment. Okay. Because you need not to pressurize yourself that if I don't do this, I won't be successful. Why are you I mean, why are you into that moment? I mean, many have. I have, as I asked earlier, that many students, they fall under pressure and they consider themselves as a failure. So I mean, you are not a failure. Nobody is a failure. So even if we even I mean, if I would like to say the definition of failure in the dictionary itself, the failure meaning says lack of success. That doesn't mean no success, lack of success. So, and when we talk about that, it's the manner how you define success for you. For some, success matters something else. For me, it's like if one of my students cracks some exam, that's success for me. If I earn something today, that is success for me. So, definition of success changes. It's how you perceive it. So, especially students, I mean, those who are having any kind of confusions or they are into suggestions looking to go forward, explore. The more you explore, the more you unlock your hidden potential. That's what my suggestion is.
Yeah. Definitely. It's always the like the decision or your mindset. If you decided you're only up to there, then it's up to you. Definitely. So you shouldn't be stopping there. So you need to look for. But definitely, what like this kind of platform on YouTube, like there are a lot of free learning materials that they can explore that someone else has explored for them already. Like does the dirty work. So it's very accessible. So yeah. Like, do you have like a generic or what do you think are the key skills or attributes that someone should have to be successful?
So I think the first thing that any person who wants to go forward is the curiosity mind. I mean, a curious mind always, and a hunger to grasp or a hunger to learn. When you drop that hunger, I mean, your pathway is half blocked by yourself, your own vision. Because when one has already decided, I don't need to learn anything, I have done everything, I know everything, then that creates an ego, and an egoistic mind can never move forward. That is one thing, the most important thing, like the right attitude to grasp or to learn. So, I mean, many CEOs have said that I would personally hire a person who has zero skills but the hunger to grasp or to learn, rather than a person who is more skilled but doesn't seem that he needs to learn anything new. Because the one who has a hungry mind or a hungry appetite to learn something or to grasp something will learn anything. Okay. If you are hungry, then only you will be able to eat food. If in case you are stomach full and if I try to feed you something, you would always neglect it. That neglect will definitely cause some damage. And that is what I always personally suggest, that always keep an open mind of learning, open mind of grasping. And number two, I would believe that, especially if I talk about LinkedIn today. So many people have LinkedIn accounts and they are like, okay, that's done, my job is done. So it's not that how it works. So you have to learn to network, to interact with people. The more you interact, the more you share knowledge, the more you gain. It's like the more you share, the more you gain, the more you gain, the more you grow, and the more you grow, the more you become successful. That's the mantra, according to me. And the most important capability that I believe is adaptability. If you have this one skill, no matter what, you will always thrive in any environment possible, because humans have the capability to adapt to any situation or condition, no matter what. So when you inherit that kind of capability to adapt to any situation, I mean, for example, if for example, if I talk about my case. So I passed out as a mechanical engineering graduate, then suddenly shifted to training department, communications, because I had the ability to adapt. I easily adapted to the situation, and there how I did my career transition. So it's very important because adaptability ensures that you have a smooth career transition, or maybe you have a smooth growth, you have a smooth personal branding, right? And branding, I mean, the one you see is the one which is sold. Okay, so it's like if you create a good brand of yourself, that is the one going to attract more customers. That's what it is. Simple thing. So make yourself worthy. The more you value yourself, the more value you will attract for yourself. That's it.
Definitely, I agree into that. And yeah, well, one last part. Like, do you have like personal resources or articles you could share that they could take valuable lessons from? related to the
Okay.
topic.
Okay. If I talk about valuable lessons or valuable resources, then I think there isn't any particular suggestion or something like that. Whole of internet is open, because there isn't anything that is a good suggestion or a better suggestion. It's how you would like to perceive, as I always say. But yeah, if anyone wants to have a personal guidance, how to approach the thing, or if anybody is stuck what their actual capability is, then they can always reach out to me through LinkedIn, where I can personally help them. Because I am into this thing where I personally mentor them to understand their true capability, unlock their true potential. Because sometimes what we don't understand, a third person is able to help with you. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. And yes, what are your online platforms aside from LinkedIn? Do you have a website or a channel that they could go into?
So right now, I think I'm just focused on LinkedIn, but yeah, in future I will be launching my own website shortly. So when that is done, okay, the news will be shared through LinkedIn, and certainly the people would be benefited from that as well, I believe.
Yes, okay. So you can just for anyone watching, everyone watching, Abhijit Dasan, you can just type his name definitely on LinkedIn, send him a connection and a message, and he's very responsive. And yes, so if you wish to collaborate with him, you can like feel free to send a connection. All right. So any final words to say, Abhijit, before we conclude your topic?
Yeah, I mean, see, I have told, I mean, many things, like these are the things to be done, or these are the things to approach. But at the end, it's a person's perspective, how they want to approach or how they would like to see the things. That's it. So, I mean, possibilities are endless right now. Whatever careers we are seeing, it may double up, triple up, whatever it is. Okay. So even if I take a small example, when COVID-19 hit, everybody was at home. In YouTube, also you might have seen reaction channels have started coming up. Now, reaction channels, YouTubers, they have chosen as a niche for promoting. So it's like there is endless opportunity that you may want to delve into, that you may want to encash. That's it. So always seek out through the opportunities, always hunt. If you have if you are having a hunting mindset and a hungry, maybe what you say, soul, then you will definitely find something good that is beyond imagination. That's it.
All right, that is wonderful, wonderfully said. Thank you so much, Abhijit. That was so really informational. And before we end this webinar, I'd like to check. We have actually a question for the first topic, so it's really out of way. But yeah, on the YouTube live, we have Arundhati and asking how to manage mental health while undergoing stress at work and personal life both. So yeah, both of you can share your thoughts about the question. And yeah, let's start with Vidula.
Sure. Uh, the very important thing is to do a comparative analysis where you have work or stress in one hand, and then you have your own life in the other hand. So, what is more important to you? So, it's very important to compartmentalize that, taking too much stress, work stress, or family stress, is it really affecting your health, or is it creating a progressive mindset or a successful life for you? If not, then it does not need that kind of importance. So once you identify that, it becomes very easy to sort of forget stress, and keep it away from. And like Abhijit said, you have to value yourself. So the self love needs to be there, because if you love yourself, only then you will take care of yourself, and you will avoid things which are not good for your mental or physical health. So yes, compartmentalize is very important, and it will really keep you sorted, and it will keep the stress away, and also being in the moment and experiencing the good things around you is very important, because you may change your job, your family, you can go away from your family, or these are the things are temporary in your life, but the only person which will be along with you throughout the life, day and night, is yourself. So which is very important. So give more importance to yourself, rather than the stress, or the work stress, or the family stress. And start taking care of yourself, so you'll feel more confident to face any kind of issues or problems in your lives, and it'll make your life more easy uh, uh, in future.
All right. Thank you, Vidula. And yeah, do you have a word as well, Abhijit?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to answer the same as well as Vidula just mentioned, but I would like to add one more thing. For example, the way I handle stress. So there is one thing. So, for example, there is always a perspective. So stress is caused due to problems, or maybe a situation which you have to deal, which you have to deal with. So think like this. I mean, if there is a problem. So think about two perspectives. A problem has two perspectives. Whether it can be solved, number one, and number two, it can't be solved. Now, number one, if it can be solved, if there is a solution to the problem, no need to overthink, because overthinking people are the ones who create a lot of stress and they harm themselves. And number two, if there is no solution to the problem, then I mean take some time. You may analyze, maybe at first you are not able to understand whether the solution to the problem is coming or not. But if you arrive at a certain situation that there is no solution to the problem, then why are you worrying? Because anyways, you are gonna you are gonna face it. So face it with brave heart and mind. That's it. So this is life. No matter, I mean, if I talk about workplace also, or maybe your personal life also, stress problems will come. Once problems come, you overthink on that. That is how you create stress for yourself. So to avoid it, better maybe take a note. I mean, just think, okay, if there is a solution, that's fine. Leave it. That's it. There is a solution. Why are you worrying? Anyways, you will come up with that solution. That's it. Always enjoy life, because this is the best moment where you have to, I mean, just go with the flow. Once you go with the flow, definitely you will start tackling the situations unknowingly, and that's it.
All right. Yeah. Wonderful take. Yes. Yeah, we do. One more thing. Do you have another? Or
No, I think Abhijit pretty much said everything.
all
So,
right.
yes, it is very important that you identify and find a solution. And if you think that you are not getting the solution, I think time is a good healer. So you need to give time to certain things to reach to a point where you get a clear mindset to get a solution. So that only comes with time and space. So I think you can practice meditation, or just being in solitude as well helps. So you can use that, yes.
All right, definitely. So there you go. And I hope that answers the question and for on the YouTube question that we have. And yes, there you go. Our two guest speaker definitely brings value for today's webinar, as it has always been. So um, I would like to take this opportunity to invite those who are watching or will be watching the recorded session after, feel free to join our weekly webinar. It always happens every Wednesday. So that's 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern time. And yes, you can join in Zoom to collaborate with our speakers, or you can just watch on YouTube and type your questions there any way you want it. Definitely. And this platform would always want to bring you free knowledge, and not just the knowledge, but the experience of the professionals that we invite as guests will definitely help you out. All right. And I guess that's everything. So make sure to follow our page on LinkedIn and on Facebook as well, and our YouTube page, Let Us Talk It, for free knowledge and free experience from professionals around the globe. All right. So I guess it's about time to end the webinar today. And we just want to give thanks to Abhijit and Vidula for accepting this invite in terms of doing the guest speaking and sharing their expertise and their uh, personal experience in this platform. So this is one way of giving back to the community um, by just sharing your time and knowledge. We know time is equivalent to money nowadays. It's hard to get people's time because time makes money. But definitely, with these guests that we have, we are very thankful that they wish to share their time to others as well and to this platform. So again, we would like to invite you next week. We have two new guests and two new topics. So please be sure to attend or watch the live on YouTube. All right. So we bid you goodbye for now, and we wish you safe as always. So take care, as everyone, and this is the end of today's webinar. All the
Thank you
best.
so much, Benny. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil, and same to you.